1 p.m. in Scotland. So I hope you and Wendy are enjoying some delicious lunch. I know that I've been praying for you, Stuart, with your dry socket. I know it has to be painful. Marty had all four of their wisdom teeth taken out at the same time, and they got one with a dry socket, and it was a couple of weeks before it got straightened out. It was a difficult couple of weeks, but Marty made it through, and I'm sure you will too. It's just a matter of time to give your body time to heal. And, but Marty had antibiotics with their dry socket. So I don't know, if that's appropriate for your case or not. But we've been there. We've been through that. I had all four of my wisdom teeth taken out when I was in my 20s. And it was an interesting time. I will say that. Good morning, Skeeter. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy to see my fisherman crew in here and my drone crew and my reseller crew. It's so nice to have you all here. I was interrupted a lot yesterday on my live. I mean, like I had to hit that continue or try again button over and over and over. And yesterday I did a live unboxing from Victoria, and when I went back after the video was processed and I rewatched it, the entire unboxing was gone. It was not there. So I'm going to go ahead, and that's not fair to Victoria that her unboxing is gone. I can't redo a raw unboxing. I didn't put everything back in the box. Here I have a ring that Victoria sent me for free. Let me put it. I think this ring was from the 5 pounds of jewelry I ordered from you, Johnny. This ring is from Mia. Mia has wonderful jewelry. You can buy specialized pieces from Mia. But this ring is the one that I got complimentary from Victoria. And she also she had a mystery bag sale. So she sent this was in one of the mystery bags. This is very appropriate for Halloween. That's a peachy orange. And this kind of looks like pumpkin. So these would be good for Halloween. I don't wear press-on nails though. And inside the box, we still have the kitchen gadgets. Victoria's addicted to kitchen gadgets, by the way. But her channel is Adventures with Victoria. And when I opened the box yesterday, I had forgotten what these were because I ordered these before the 2 hurricanes and before being in the ICU. So when you go through experiences like that, you kind of forget the stuff you were doing before all that happened. But this is, you set this down in a green or yellow or red pepper, and then you turn it, and it takes all the seeds and the white ribs and stuff in the middle out. And with a jalapeno pepper, they're thin, you just cut the top off of it. Same thing, set this down in there and turn, and it brings all the seeds out. So yesterday I was kind of like, okay, what does this do? Do you set this in the top of a 2 liter or a liter bottle, and then it's a spout? You might be able to use it for that too. I don't know if it's the right size. But that was my first thought. And here's an inventory number. And if you ever go to an auction with Victoria, you don't have to put in a price. You don't have to put in a keyword. You put in her inventory number, and she puts it right on her spreadsheet that you are the first in for this. Now, sometimes she'll have 5, 10, 20 pieces just like this. She's the kind of person, she'll go to Walgreens or CVS or Walmart, and she'll clean off that end counter, or she'll clean a certain item and give it out. So she puts these inventory numbers on it, and she uses Canva, which you can create thumbnails with, to print out all these numbers. She has a video on it. And the last thing that I have from Victoria are 2 packages of parchment paper. Here was our inventory number for that. And these are good for baking. And we only have 2 people in this house. And Marty's gluten-free. So sometimes when I bake, it's for 1. Sometimes when I bake, it's for 2. I have been doing a lot of baking since I've been sick, but you get the idea. This is a very, very small order for me from Victoria. Usually I order a lot more than this, but our post office boxes are 9 miles from each other. So it's one of those situations where it's very good for the planet for me to order from Victoria. Good morning, Lena. How you doing? And good morning, Dan. Dan's also from across the pond. And good morning, Jessica, Dumpster Girls. I hope you are feeling good this morning. I know Jessica's been in the hospital. She was in the hospital after I left the hospital. But speaking of health, when I got sick, I had been eating 4 DD Sweeties a day. And now I can only eat the 1. DD Sweeties is a espresso caramel. And this comes from Virtual Shopkeeper DD. She sells this by the pound, half pound, a quarter pound. Sometimes I guess she sells thirds of pounds. But anyway, they're delicious. And because of my health, I can have 1 a day. And here we go. It's so delicious. I was limiting myself to 4 and doing good with that. But because of my health, I can't have more than 4. Oh, that was delicious. I need to wash it down. But Dee Dee has the espresso caramels. And they are my favorite. She also has lemon pound cake. I believe she has, I don't remember what other flavor. I probably have some here. I guess I'm trying to forget how wonderful they are. Because I can only have 1 a day. So if I start thinking about the other delicious flavors she has, I might want to say, okay, I'll just have 1 a day of each. And I can't do that. I need to have 1 a day. This is a soapbox. Did I tell you I was going to get on a soapbox? This soapbox had bouquet rose scented soaps in it, which have all been used. So I'm reusing the box for something else. That's what we do around here. I've had that cellophane on it forever and kind of used it to keep things in here. But on my last auction that I went to, it was on Johnny K. Jr.'s Reseller, I sold buttons. Let me see. Is this the right box down here? Yes, it is. I sold buttons. And in January, I'm going to sell buttons. So I had been in my bedroom because I was just, and I found some more buttons. And here is a Doctor Who button. This is, I believe, a Dalek. That's what it's called. and I found a gaming button, +5 dexterity. If you're playing Dungeons and Dragons and you're running a monk, and I don't mean running a muck, running a monk, M-O-N-K, which is a character class in Dungeons and Dragons, you want a monk with a high dexterity. So if you got a +5 dexterity item, that's good. Also, I don't know why I ended up with only 2 of the D&D buttons. Let's see. Here it is. +5 intelligence. Good morning, Craig. Good to see you in here. If you're running a wizard, you want a wizard in your party that has a high intelligence, because otherwise they're going to throw a fireball in a cave and roast your entire party. So you want a wizard with a high intelligence. So here's one that kind of tells its own story, a Nerd Pride button. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad I'm not getting kicked off. And here's another Doctor Who button. Keep calm. I'm the doctor. I don't know if we have any Doctor Who fans in here. And here is a button for Isaac. That's Sir Isaac Newton, I guess. Or is that Isaac Asimov? That might be Isaac Asimov. That has a little bit of ink staining on it, as does this Irwin button. So they need to be cleaned, have the ink cleaned off of them. I hope that comes off. And also I had, this Darwin pen. I was an atheist for 41 years, and I believed fully in evolution. Now that I'm Christian, I can't ignore, where is it? I can't ignore all the science, because God gave us brains to figure this stuff out. So what I believe now is a combination. Oh, that's got ink all over it too. No, that's part of the design. I believe in what they call intelligent design or creationistic evolution, where we don't know how long a day is to God. To God, a day could be 100,000 years or 1 billion years. And he set up evolution, intelligent design. In other words, I don't believe God came in like a wizard and waved a magic wand and it all just appeared. I believed it was a process. So here we have some Christmas pins. This has a frog on it, cute little snowman, and I have a reindeer. So I have, actually, I thought about going from buttons to brooches. So this is definitely a button. I trooped with this is from the Florida Garrison. And the Florida Garrison is a gaming group here in Jacksonville. They have a convention every year, and they call it Rapier Con. And I went to Rapier Con for probably a straight decade. But my most enjoyable year, I don't know what year it was, is I ended up playing the English Civil War with real figurines, painted figurines. And I was on a team that it was me and 3 retired Navy guys. And they were all gray-haired and they were all conservative. And then it was me. And this was like 10, 15 years ago. So it was me without gray hair. Dragons Meadow group. The thing is, the other side had a couple of Navy guys and I had a couple other guys there that were, you know, kind of more regular gamers like me. And one of them was a history expert, and they were winning the war. And they weren't supposed to win the war. Our side was supposed to win the war. But anyway, uh, I was the only one that was making any progress on my side. The three retired Navy guys weren't doing anything. And this little old guy, he got really upset with me because I took over his dragoons because I had advanced all of my troops and his dragoons were next. And for us to even have a hope of winning, I had to advance his dragoons. And I took over his dragoons, and he was very upset with me. And we still lost. But everyone on the other side and the guy that was running the game agreed I would have been the most valuable player if I'd been on the winning side. And I was the only woman there, which was great. Now, I was the youngest person there, which was great. But I had a lot of fun taking over the dragoons. It's like I was doing my own little personal war with the Navy guys, too, to, you know, so they wouldn't be so sexist. But I probably failed on that. I don't know if that's, I don't know what that's supposed to be. I'm not sure. I think that's part of it. So I'm just going to leave that be. I'm going to try to clean that one. Now this does not have a frog. And this says, he is risen. So I have some pins in here. Oh. These earrings are not for sale. These were made by Carol, Crafty Songbird 56. May she rest in peace. I didn't realize that they were in this box. And here we have a pin. So we're getting into frog pins. And I'll start selling these. I'm going to get some frogs. And this says, customer service, you make a difference. And I think I got this when I worked at AT&T. Good morning, Rommel. So good to see you. Rommel lives in the Philippines, and he recycles and reuses. He makes the most craftiest things out of recycled material. And here we have a pin from Florida. Rommel, I was just telling everybody, in January, I'm going to be selling on the rapid fire round on Cajun Roots Reseller. Here's a little bow. And I started out selling buttons, and I'm going to sell buttons in January. Irwin. And then, where's my Doctor Who button? Where did it go? Oh, I need to leave these out to clean them. Oh, here we go. Here's the Doctor Who button. But I'm going to sell all the buttons first. And then I'm going to sell, all my pins, or almost all of my pins. And then I'm going to go to selling brooches. I'm going to go from buttons to brooches. So I'm going to sell all the buttons first, and then I'm going to start selling brooches. And I've got some beautiful brooches. But here's another one I found since I sold on the last rapid fire round that I was on. Now, actually, Marty and I went to this party in 2001. It was just a few months after 9/11. We went to Disney on my birthday, or for my birthday that year. But here are the ones that I sold. Here are my tags, or brought up for sale. These didn't sell. But what I did is I went through the alphabet, A to Z. So I had 26 items. And I marked them with the letter. No, all you had to do was put in a letter, and this was the price. So this is for K. A few other buttons. And there were some that were not marked. see, I got some from Debbie and Max Go Thrifting. Let's see if I can. I have like 6 of them. So those 6. Oh, okay. This did not sell. I forget what letter this was. I'm going to have to redo the letters. Huh. I had some LGBTQ buttons that I purchased. But some of these, there was just as many that weren't marked. Oh, this one was Q. Are you man enough to eat Granny Goose? I have no idea what that's about. Maybe between now and January, I'll have time to research these buttons a little more and price them more fairly. There might be some of them that are worth serious money. I have some political buttons. I've decided not to bring the political buttons. Okay, this is an empty bag. I can put the ones that need to be cleaned in it. Oh, wait a minute. I need to put, this probably is going to go up for sale in January because it's probably more valuable because it's Disney. So let me see who I got in here. Oh, good morning, Angie. I didn't see you come in. It's so good to see everyone here. I'm not being kicked out this morning. I'm being able to talk. I have my DD Sweeties this morning. Oh my goodness. And I'm able to talk and not be interrupted. I don't know how the wind is blowing right, but it's blowing right today so that I can do this. I also got from Cindy Lovin, she was having an auction. It was so funny. She sold these to me, and I told her, I said, Cindy, I'm going to use those to mark my items in the auction. Let's see. And while she was doing her auction, she was like, oh, that's a good idea. So she took them out and used them during the auction that she sold them to me from. But they are, letters that you can mark items with. I think I got them for like 50 cents or $1. And I was so happy. I did have some numbers. And last year, when I wasn't reselling was, not on my mind at all, I gave them to somebody else. And now I wish I had them. But anyway, you can pick these up. You can pick numbers up at like the dollar store. So it's no big deal. I got these from Cindy. Helped her empty out her coffers and make a little money, along with a bunch of other stuff. Actually, one of the other things I got from Cindy was a book series from the Alexander Hamilton Institute. And evidently, I'm going to put these in here. I'm going to leave these out. The Alexander Hamilton Institute evidently used to be like a college or business school you could go to. Let me get this underneath here. And I didn't know that. I didn't know Alexander Hamilton had a business school. But these are books about modern business. And this was written in 1965, I believe, and published in 1966. And this is commercial law and contract law. And this basic information about contracts would still be good. Of course, laws vary state to state, but I've had business law. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and most of the law I've had is criminal law. Of course, when you take a knowledge, so this would I'll still be good. So I might give this a light read. Not right now. There's one of them in here. Modern Business. Here it is. This is how much things have changed. This book is called Business and the Man. So, assumptions that should be questioned, like the title of the book. Let's see. Improve your memory. There was one of these, there's 4 of these, that had exercises in it. Yes, this one. So it is comprehensive in that it talks about the whole person, but it's sex specific, and we all know that women can have businesses. Probably had businesses in the 60s. Oh, and this is about business correspondence, business letters and communications. And I probably shouldn't read this one because I'm one of those people. I get really, really, really concerned about people not using capital letters anymore. Even like on YouTube titles and things, there just seems to be like a first letter on the page. Oh, let me see. Good morning, Stuart, sweetheart. How are your cheeks? Stuart's from the fishing community. And also Skeeter was in here earlier. So I've been watching fishing. It reminds me of my childhood. My father used to take us fishing when we were young. And it brought back memories. And I talked to my brother about it. And it's brought back memories for him. And I've heard that, speaking of, having good well-being and exercising, that being exposed to water 20 minutes a day, of course, I think they're talking about really being on the water. Oh, speaking of a fishing guy, there is Bob. Bob is from the fishing community. Any fin is possible. On his channel, he catches the fish, he skins the fish, and he fries the fish. All in different videos. There might be one video out there where he does it, does the whole process on one video. But that's how Bob feeds his family, is by fishing. And he's got a freezer full of fish. And his family survives. Of course, they still go to the grocery store and all that, but they have many meals provided by his fishing skills. Yes, and Stuart and Bob are like brothers. And we're all kind of like a family over there on both of those channels. We pick on each other, and it's just a lot of fun. But anyway, I don't think I should read the book about the business letters, because I would just see more of what we've lost in the formality of our communications. Wow, I knew you had sent Bob some flies, but I didn't know you sent him 1,000. Because Stuart will sit on his channel and he'll make fishing flies. And at first, I was like, I didn't know what he was doing. But he's done that for hours and hours and hours. Wow, do you think Bob's going to use all those flies? Yeah, and they put hot dogs on his flies. I'm going to get in trouble. Can anybody tell me what time it is? Because when I'm on live, I can't tell the time. I have no idea what time it is because I do everything on my phone. I don't have a laptop and a phone going. I do have, believe it or not, I have an iPad that was made 7:33. All right, thank you. I don't want to run past 8 because I'll be stepping on toes if I run past 8. But anyway, I I'm just a real stickler. I guess I'm kind of the grammar police, but I never say anything. I never, I just cringe inside, if you know what I mean, when I see like a YouTube title with just maybe a capital letter on the first word, because so, and I send emails all the time to resellers. Please stay live. You don't step on toes. Well, Stuart, I don't expect. I redid the unboxing from Victoria, and showed everybody my buttons. And I didn't read from the business school book because I thought people might not like that so much. I don't know. I have a list of things that I thought to do during my lives. But since I went in the hospital, so I'm looking through some stuff over here. I think that stuff is, what do they say, waylaid. So I don't know. I've been gossiped about on certain channels that because I'm going live at certain times. And the original, good morning, Kenneth. The original reason I went live at 7:05 was Johnny goes on live at 8 a.m. and the original and Victoria at 9. So the original purpose was to show items I'm going to sell and talk about my reselling journey. And then just so happened I fell ill. I feel really ill. So I started at the table showing items, doing unboxings, and I ended up over in my recliner because I was sick. And then after I got sick, I said, and was in the recliner, I said, I'm going to make it back to this table. And then I went to the ICU. And then I went to a regular room. And then I came home. And then there was a hurricane while I was in the hospital. And then after I got home, there was a hurricane. So it's become more of a personal vlog until I got back to the table. So now that I'm back to the table, I'm ready to, do unboxings and talk about what I'm going to sell and show kind of what I do. That's the kind of thing I'm looking to do now to get back to where, I started. And it's been difficult. And tomorrow I might be back in the recliner. But hopefully tomorrow I'll have more to show you about what I'm going to do as far as reselling. I know you all know that I have skills on looking up stuff and finding it at a good price. This is, let me see. This is a gift I'm sending out. Now, I have a group called O Monday. And O Monday is a workaday week kind of group. And we talk about coffee. A day without coffee is like, just kidding, I have no idea. That's what this button says. And I'm sending this button to, good morning, Robin. So glad to see you here. I showed my buttons that I'm going to sell on Johnny's in January. Some of them, not all of them. And I'm going to send, and also Wisconsin Harvest Blend Coffee. And what this is this is a reward for one of the people over on my Old Monday group on Facebook that constantly contributes. So I randomly send out gifts to the regular contributors of my Old Monday group. So it's www.facebook.com/OHMONDAY, all lowercase. And here we have a box of buttons that I'm sending to a friend. And all of these buttons are political. And every time I was trying to go live at first, it was before I went on Johnny's for the first time I sold. Let me take out these green tags because I can use those for sales. I was showing political buttons. And every time I'd show the political buttons, I got kicked off. So I don't know if it was a coincidence because I was starting and I got kicked off because of the political buttons or not. But when I went to the back room with Johnny and he was talking to me about my sales, and right before I sold on his channel, he made it clear to everyone that he didn't want anything political or religious on his channel. So I didn't even try to sell the political buttons because, well, I had enough buttons that I didn't have to, since it could be a thing. And I didn't want to hurt anyone else's channel by showing something political. But the weird thing is that when the person that sold these buttons to me was on a YouTube channel. So I don't know why I would be kicked off more than the person that was selling them. So it really, see, I want to turn all these backwards. I don't want to show them because I don't want YouTube to have a problem with me right now. So now I'm going to turn them up so when the person opens the box, I'm going to neat this up a little bit more. Maybe I'll use these parchment sheets. And here's another box. And I don't, let's see who I was sending this to. Oh, this is the one. Okay. Let's see what's in here. Oh, it's a glass rooster. It fit perfectly down in this pouch. Okay. And we have coffee. Bourbon pecan pie coffee. Oh my goodness, I haven't had my coffee yet. And here we have fashion jewelry, sculpted cube, pierced earrings. And they're teeny tiny little cubes. Aren't those cute? And here we have, and I don't want to show this person because I don't know when I'm going to make it to the post office. But every time a reseller sends me thank you cards or business cards or anything like that, I save them all. And what I do is usually I have an envelope. Here's some generic thank yous that I don't think originally came from them, but I have all these thank you cards. And what I do is I'll usually send, and here's a generic sticker. It was upside down. You are one of a kind. So nice little encouragement sticker. So what I do is usually I will send all of their business cards and stationery back to them so they can reuse it by sending it to other people. And that way we're using less paper and ink. And occasionally, I occasionally send out gifts anyway. So I like to do this. And then people send me free stickers all the time. So I'm decorating the boxes. Isn't that cute? With the stickers. So that's something I do. Zoom. I like the word Zoom. Good morning, Misty. How are you doing today? Oh, I love your 10 things. Misty has a wonderful channel and she sources from all different kinds of places, but she'll get she was part of a collaboration where people showed scarves and sold scarves, and I just loved that scarf video. And you showed different ways to wear the scarf, and you had when you did the brooches, I think you had a brooch in your hair, and I'd never seen, a brooch worn as a hair clip. So she gives wonderful, eclectic, not well known advice that you might not have thought of. And every time she does her 10 things video, you can buy any of those 10 things. I've not ever seen a 10 things video where the items weren't for sale. And my goodness, Misty, you tempt me all the time. You have such gorgeous items. And one of these days, I will go ahead and order something from you. But I've been, since I come home from the hospital, well, good morning, Judy's Handmade Creations. Welcome in, welcome in. But since I've been home from the hospital, I've had some expenses. And anytime a hurricane comes through, all of us Floridians go out and we stock our shelves and we buy toilet paper and paper towels and all of that. And by the time the hurricane's gone, we're all broke. It's a Florida thing. But my brother went out to the store and he got us some groceries because I wasn't yet able to go to the grocery store. And I asked him if he got lunch meat, and he said, yeah. And he said, this was the last 2 packages of lunch meat. The entire aisle was just cleaned out. And before that, we had a threat of a port strike. And Jacksonville has Blunt Island, which is this huge island. All kinds of ships come in. It's so big, they even have coal coming in from Japan, and they take that coal and they've got a coal belt, just like you'd find back home in the coal fields, across the creek that makes the Blunt Island an island, to a facility on the other side where it's loaded up and taken to the power plant. So, I've docked a ship out at Talleyrand when I was a security officer when I first moved here. You go out there with poles and you move the sticks to how you want the ship captain or whoever's navigating that ship to bring it close, and you let them know, to stop. They're about to hit the, side of the port. So, I've had a variety of experiences in Jacksonville with ports. My father used to be a car hauler, and he would go out and pick up Toyotas directly shipped in from Japan and deliver them all over the southeast border. So we have Jim Moran Corporation here in Jacksonville, and they run ships in and they sell cars, but they also own part of the port some way. One year I was invited to a party on their yacht, and my estranged husband used to work for them, and I worked for them for a while. Indirectly, I worked as a contractor. So, and I also worked security at the facility where they have all the licenses, the metal license plates. That was an interesting. And I would work every contract. So I wasn't the person that was put in one place. I was the person that would jump in anywhere I was needed. And wasn't the field supervisor, but I was one rung below the field supervisor when I did that. But I only did that for a year, and then I went into another job, and then went back to it for a year, and then went into another job. So I kind of knew about all of their contracts and knew all of their people. And so it was a very interesting time. But that was long ago. I was on a pager back then. Good morning, Masha. So good to see you here. Yeah, I'm new at this. So you let me know if you got any expert tips for going live. Let me know because I have been struggling because a lot of times I'm being kicked off. So I've had lives that when you go back and look at them, not all the stuff that I said is there. Like yesterday, I did an unboxing and it was weird. It was just like almost everything else was there, but the entire unboxing had disappeared. So I recovered what was missed in the unboxing to be fair to the seller, because it was, I was just kind of like shocked, like the entire unboxing is gone. And you can't undo or redo a raw unboxing because you opened the box to show what you got and the condition it's in when you got it and to give a review. And so I just went back over everything this morning, and I've only been interrupted a couple of times this morning, and I'm so happy about that. But anyway, it's getting to the moment that I need to let everybody go and have a snack or go to the restroom or whatever you do and meet me over at Johnny Cajun Roots Reseller. His channel is New England Cajun Roots Reseller, and he will continue the, I guess we would call it the reselling chain. And then after that, Victoria, Adventures with Victoria is on. And then after that, you can probably catch Bob, if you want to go to a fishing channel, at Anything is Possible. And then after Bob is done, usually Stuart, the Fish Whisperer, is on, or at least he's on around 2 o'clock. When are you going live today, Stuart? And Masha, when do you go live? So I'll let anybody in the chat that's going live today or is going live tomorrow to announce it in the chat, because so 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when Stuart will come on today. He's in Scotland. I don't know what that is his time. Oh my goodness. So that's a Canadian Thanksgiving, I take it, because our Thanksgiving's not till October. Are you from Canada, Masha? Yes, Masha is Mayhem and Miracles. And I was watching Masha go live. Oh my goodness, probably 3 years ago or longer. I don't know how long you've been on. She's very supportive. Oh, I didn't know you were in Canada. And so Stuart's on 7 p.m. Scotland time. I think you're in the same time zone as London, right? Oh, okay. I didn't know you were in Ontario. Okay. So it's been 2+ years. Yeah, I thought it was almost 3 years that I had been seeing you live. Well, you all have a wonderful and blessed day, and I hope to see some of you over at Johnny's New England Cajun Roots Reseller, and maybe at Victoria's and at Bob's.